Hello, Opasinkis. How are you guys doing? Everything here is fine. I've just received my IOP yesterday, and it's not too bad. I can already kind of read. I just made the letters, the words a bit larger. I hope you guys are well. And are you ready? Did you pack all your stuff to start moving? I think on Friday you start moving. I hope so. Otherwise, Mum needs to do everything for you, and I think you must help her, hey? Please. So anyway, we have been talking about Israelites. Samuel was the last judge, and the Israelites came to him and wanted their own earthly king. They were tired of the judges, and God warned them that it's not going to be moonshine and roses. And then Samuel had to appoint Saul, who was a very tall man, so he was the king. And very soon he proved that he was, a strong king. He beat the enemies in wartime and so on and so on. But then God said to Samuel that he must anoint David as the next king. I think Saul was not God's favorite person. So, remember the story about the donkeys that he needed to find, and he met David. He met Samuel, and Samuel anointed him, even though he was a boy. And then, when he was older, Samuel was sent to anoint him. So, let's talk about it from there. Before David became king, Saul was still the king, right? So he was still the herdsman, or the looking after the sheep and the cattle and stuff. But King Saul turned against David, because David was widely praised for defeating Goliath. Remember the story of Goliath, where David fought against this giant, and now he became very popular, and King Saul did not like that. He achieved some other military success because Saul used him. He sent him together with his troops, and he grew very jealous, believing that David wanted his kingship. He did not know that David was anointed yet. So Saul made many attempts to kill David. At one point, when he was in his room in the palace, he threw a spear at him, because David was playing the harp for him. The harp music was kind of the music that Saul needed to calm him down. So he got David to do that for him. And while he was playing one day, he threw the spear at him, and luckily missed. Initially, or at some point, Saul said that David could marry his daughter, Merab, and he actually broke his promise. He did not allow David to do that. So later, Saul offered his other daughter, Michal, if David could kill 100 Philistines. So David went out and killed 200, and then married her. When Saul became determined to kill David, Michal helped David escape by placing an image in his bed, something in his bed, like a doll, to deceive Saul's messengers, so they thought he was still sleeping. So David could fled during the night, and he went back to Samuel to find refuge there. And Samuel was in Ramah at the time. That was the place where he was. Saul tried to capture David there, and even going himself to try and make sure that he will find him. But he ended up not getting David. So Saul's one son's name was Jonathan, and David confided in Jonathan. He was his friend. He wanted to learn if Saul still wanted to kill him. Jonathan and David were close friends, and they made a covenant. They agreed that they will help each other, and that Jonathan will give David, information about his father and where he is and when he wanted to catch him, and so on. He arranged a sign, as a matter of fact. He would shoot arrows when they meet, and if he told his servant the arrows, because they all had servants, so you shoot your arrow, the servant goes and fetch the arrow. So if he told his servant that he must fetch the arrows behind David, David should understand that he must flee fast, because then Saul would want to kill him. Saul became enraged when David missed his customary feast. They had a customary feast, and David did not come. Jonathan gave the sign, and they met privately to renew their covenant before David fled. So what happened was that he shot the arrow and sent the servant beyond him. So that was the sign that Saul is going to kill him, and then he knew that he needs to just get away forever. So David traveled to Nob, which was a place where the tabernacle was located, and he hid there with the priest Ahimelech. David tricked Ahimelech into thinking that he was on a secret mission for Saul. That's why he kept him there. So he provided him with food. And he also provided him with Goliath's sword, which was there with at the tabernacle. Then later on, one of the people who were there, together with the priest, saw David, and he informed Saul about David's movements secretly. So consequently, Saul ordered the death of the prophet Ahimelech, and and all the priests who lived there at Nob. It was quite a few of them. But Abiathar, who was Ahimelech's son, escaped, and he joined David, bringing him they escaped, and he then followed David and his band, his group, who tried to get away from Saul. So the point is, David was fleeing from Saul because Saul, the king, wanted to kill David, the future king, without knowing that he was going to be the future king. Just because he was so jealous and that he hated David for the fact that the people loved him, and he was not even the king. Well, he first fled to Gath, where he pretended to be insane to escape the king who was the king of Gath, right? He pretended to be insane so that the king would not take any notice of him and would not think that he was David. He then hid in the cave of Adullam, where approximately 600 men gathered as his followers. So now he got followers. The more he fled from Saul, the more men followed him to look after him. David also arranged for his parents, who was also in trouble, to go to Moab, where they would be safe. Then God commanded David to return to Judah. Saul pursued David throughout the wilderness, And then when Saul was close to capturing David in the wilderness, a Philistine attack diverted Saul, allowing David to escape again. So Saul was on the verge of catching David. And it's still David fleeing from Saul, and Saul pursuing David to try and kill him. So there were a lot of instances where he nearly caught him. And in this instance, the Philistines suddenly attacked Saul on his way to capture David. So you can see how God protected David in many ways. David had two opportunities to kill Saul himself. But both times he spared his life because Saul, according to David, was the Lord's anointed king. So David knew that, and he would never kill somebody appointed by God. The first instance was in the cave. Remember, we talked about the cave. And while Saul was inside the cave, he was there to relieve himself. David crawled up behind him, and without Saul knowing, and he cut off the corner of Saul's robe. And later, he showed the cloth to Saul, that piece of the cloth, proving that he could have killed him but chose not to. So Saul thought, he felt a little bit of regret, but it soon disappeared. The second time, David and Abishai crept into Saul's sleeping camp at night while he was chasing David, and took his spear and his water jug. And later, David shouted from a distance, revealing that he had been near enough to kill the king, but chose not to harm God's anointed. Saul admitted David's goodness. So Saul and David never met again after this incident, but again David saved or did not kill Saul even whilst he had the opportunity. So Saul wanted to kill David, but David just fled from Saul, but did not kill him even when he had the chance. Well, feeling defeated by the endless pursuit, David fled back to the Philistine territory, where King Achish of Gath gave him the city of Ziklag. When the Philistines prepared to invade Canaan, Achish, the king of Gath, wanted David and his men to join the Philistines' army to fight against Israel. The conflict between David and Saul illustrates a relentless chase, much like the shadow pursuing his source. David, anointed by God, consistently demonstrated respect for divine authority. He would never kill Saul because he was appointed by God. While Saul, motivated by jealousy, so he continuously tried to kill David, but because God has already anointed David, he looked after David and made sure that he would not be killed by Saul. So the one wanted to kill the anointed, he did not know. The other one did not want to kill the anointed Saul. So it's a bit confusing, but it's not that difficult. All right, so that's basically the story of Saul wanting to kill David, David fleeing, David having the opportunity to kill Saul twice, maybe he had more chances, and did not. Every time that Saul realized that he could have been killed, he felt a bit of regret, but his jealousy drove him to try and still, even after that, to still kill him. So that's basically that for today. Tomorrow we'll talk a bit more about David as the king, but this is it for now. Remember, Opa and Oma love you too, and we'll see you tomorrow, God willing, to go a bit more in depth on our Bible study. Take care. Love you too. Ciao.